Narcissism is more than just selfishness or vanity. It's a personality pattern defined by an inflated sense of self-importance and a constant need for admiration. People with narcissistic traits often lack empathy and are hypersensitive to criticism. Their outward confidence masks a fragile self-esteem, easily threatened by even minor setbacks. Narcissism exists on a spectrum from occasional self-centeredness to narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, a clinical condition that disrupts lives and relationships. Not everyone who is self-absorbed has NPD, but those with NPD are driven by these patterns. The core of narcissism is deep insecurity, hidden behind a facade of superiority. This grandiosity is a defense mechanism protecting a vulnerable sense of self. Narcissists crave external validation, what psychologists call narcissistic supply, to prop up their ego. Without it, they may become agitated, angry, or depressed. Think of narcissism as a disconnect, the perfect image they show the world versus the insecure self they hide. This internal conflict drives their need for control and inability to handle criticism. They're not truly in love with themselves, but with an idealized image they need others to believe in. Their self-worth depends on maintaining this illusion. This is the tragedy and challenge of narcissism. Understanding this helps us see why their behavior is so difficult for others. Narcissism reveals itself through a grandiose sense of self-importance, an unrealistic belief in one's own superiority. Narcissists exaggerate achievements, expect special treatment, and believe only special people can understand them. This grandiosity shields them from deep-seated insecurity. A lack of empathy is another hallmark. They struggle to recognize or care about others' feelings. Conversations quickly turn back to themselves, and your emotions are dismissed unless they serve their needs. They crave constant admiration, needing to be the center of attention. Compliments are never enough. The moment you stop providing praise, you risk being devalued or discarded. Relationships are transactional, based on what you can provide. Entitlement is also common. They expect special treatment and believe rules don't apply to them. When their demands aren't met, they may react with anger or confusion. They genuinely believe they are owed more than others. These patterns create toxic dynamics in relationships, work, and family. Recognizing these signs is the first step to protecting yourself. It's not about occasional selfishness, it's a pervasive, damaging pattern. Understanding these traits helps you spot narcissism early. Narcissism shows up in everyday life, often in subtle but damaging ways. In the workplace, imagine a colleague who takes credit for group projects, blames others for failures, and charms the boss while belittling peers. This creates a toxic environment where others feel invisible and unappreciated. In romantic relationships, the pattern often starts with love bombing, intense attention and flattery, followed by criticism, control, and emotional withdrawal. The partner is left feeling confused and devalued. In families, a narcissistic parent may see their child as an extension of themselves, parading achievements but treating failures as personal betrayals. The child learns their worth is conditional on making the parent look good. Friendships can be one-sided, with the narcissist only reaching out when they need something, ignoring your needs, and reacting with anger if confronted. These relationships leave others feeling drained, used, and unsupported. The common thread is a lack of genuine connection and empathy. Narcissists use people as tools for validation, not as equals. The impact is emotional exhaustion and confusion for those around them. Recognizing these patterns helps you set boundaries. It's not your fault if you feel used or unseen. These are classic signs of narcissistic dynamics. Awareness is the first step to change. Narcissism develops from a mix of genetics, brain differences, and environment. Some people may be biologically predisposed with brain scans, showing less gray matter in areas linked to empathy. Childhood experiences play a major role. Overpraising a child, telling them they're always special, can foster entitlement and grandiosity. Conversely, neglect or emotional abuse can lead a child to build a grandiose false self as protection. Both extremes prevent the development of healthy self-worth. Cultural factors matter too. Social media and celebrity culture reward self-promotion and external validation. Our society often normalizes narcissistic traits, making them seem desirable. While culture alone doesn't cause narcissism, it can reinforce these behaviors. Understanding the roots helps us respond with empathy and boundaries. Narcissism devastates relationships through a cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard. At first, the narcissist is charming and attentive, but soon shifts to criticism and control. Partners are left confused and heartbroken when they're abruptly discarded. In families, narcissistic parents demand everything revolve around them, casting children into roles like golden child or scapegoat. This damages self-esteem and creates lasting emotional wounds. In the workplace, narcissists undermine colleagues, steal credit, and create a climate of fear and mistrust. Productivity and morale suffer, and good employees often leave. Narcissists themselves are often lonely, unable to form genuine connections. Their relationships are transactional, leaving them dissatisfied and isolated. The constant need to maintain their facade is exhausting. The real tragedy is a life lived behind a mask, disconnected from self and others. Recognizing these patterns is key to breaking free. Healthy relationships require empathy and respect, traits narcissists struggle to offer. Protecting yourself starts with understanding the harm narcissism causes. Research shows about 6% of Americans experience narcissistic personality disorder, with men diagnosed more often than women. Women can be narcissistic too, but may express it differently. Many with NPD never seek help, so actual numbers may be higher. Brain scans reveal less gray matter in regions tied to empathy, explaining their emotional disconnect. Narcissism is linked to aggression, especially when their ego is threatened. This is called narcissistic rage. Studies also show higher rates of infidelity among narcissists, driven by entitlement and a need for validation. Some researchers believe narcissism is rising, especially among young people, due to cultural shifts in social media. This narcissism epidemic is debated, but it highlights how culture shapes personality. Understanding the science helps us respond with clarity, not just emotion. Awareness is the first step to change. The first step in dealing with a narcissist is to manage your expectations. You can't change them. Accepting this frees you to focus on protecting yourself. Educate yourself about narcissism and their tactics, like gaslighting and projection. Recognizing these behaviors helps you depersonalize their attacks. Disengage from drama. Narcissists feed on emotional reactions. Use the gray rock method. Stay calm, factual, and uninteresting. Don't defend yourself or get drawn into arguments. This makes you a less appealing target for their manipulation. Build a strong support system outside the relationship. Narcissists often isolate their victims, so reconnect with friends, family, or a therapist. Supportive people help you maintain perspective and self-worth. Setting boundaries and seeking support are acts of self-care. Remember, your well-being comes first. You have the right to protect your peace. Knowledge and support are your best defenses. Setting clear, firm boundaries is essential with narcissists. State your limits and enforce consequences consistently. For example, calmly leave the room if they raise their voice. Use the BIF method. Keep communication brief, informative, factual, and firm. Avoid emotional language or long explanations. They'll use it against you. In unavoidable relationships like co-parenting, use structured contact. Limit communication to specific topics and channels. This reduces their ability to create drama or manipulate you. If abuse is present, prioritize your safety. Setting boundaries may not be enough. Create a safety plan and seek help. Reach out to domestic violence hotlines, shelters, or specialized therapists. Leaving can be dangerous, so plan carefully and don't go it alone. Professional support is a sign of strength. Your safety and well-being are paramount. You deserve respect and peace. Can a narcissist change? It's rare. True change requires self-awareness and empathy, which their disorder resists. Healing is about you, not fixing them. Start by validating your experience and recognizing the harm done. Many survivors struggle with self-doubt and anxiety. Therapy can help rebuild self-esteem and trust in yourself. Support groups, online or in person, reduce isolation and shame. Reclaim your identity by reconnecting with friends, hobbies, and interests lost during the relationship. Focus on your own needs and happiness. Healing is about listening to your inner voice and building a life true to your values. Many survivors emerge stronger with clearer boundaries and a better sense of what healthy relationships look like. The journey is hard, but recovery is possible. Reach out for help. Resources like the National Domestic Violence Hotline and narcissistic abuse recovery sites are available. You deserve to heal and find peace. There is hope after narcissistic abuse. Your future can be joyful, authentic, and free.